For today's session, we're going to have the differentiation formulas. Okay, so para sa araw na ito, ating i-discuss ngayon yung differentiation formulas. Ito po ay isa sa mga basic topics o mga topics na dinidiscuss sa basic calculus ng senior high school. Importante na meron kang sapat na mastery sa topic na ito kasi mas maiintindihan at mas makukuha mo yung mga difficult topics sa basic calculus, lalo na kung STEM student ka sa senior high school. If meron kang strong foundation, meron kang strong grasp ng differentiation formulas. Okay? So dito, paano ba natin kinukuha ang derivative of a function? Actually, sa mga naunang topics sa basic calculus, meron tong formula. Kaya lang sobrang haba yung gumagamit ng limits of a function. But ang magiging concentration natin for this session is yung iba't ibang differentiation formulas. Okay? Yung basic differentiation formulas. Yung mga i-discuss kong example dito ay hindi lamang po ito yung mga example na ma-encounter ninyo pagka nagde-derive ng function o kumukuha ng dinidifferentiate ng function. Ang purpose lamang ng session na ito, magkaroon lang tayo ng idea paano ba mag-derive ng function na hindi na tayo gumagamit ng limits of function na pagkahaba-haba ng solution. So ito talaga yung ginagamit talaga sa mga succeeding topics ng basic calculus. So pagka na-master niyo ito, nagkaroon kayo ng strong mastery and strong grasp on this particular topic, then the other topics na i-discuss mo sa inyo, specifically the difficult topics in basic calculus, magagamay niyo na siya. So let's start with the derivative of a constant. Okay? Paano ba natin kinukuha ang derivative ng any constant? Okay? So in this case, for example, y is equal to f of x. So in grade 8 mathematics, we all know that yung y tsaka yung f of x, we treat them as the same value. Okay? Yung f of x, function of x, y din yun. So, any function that is equal to a constant, pagka kinukuha ang derivative niyan, derivative of y in terms of x, lagi po siyang 0. Tatandaan po yung rule na yun, okay? Kahit gaano pa kalaki ang number, kahit gaano kaliit ang number, ang kanyang derivative po ay lagi pong 0. Okay, derivative of y in terms of x is equal to 0. But there is another way. Paano po isulat ang derivative ng isang function, okay? Pag derivative kasi, pabawas ang trend niya. Kaya nga differentiation, pinakaliit mo siya, ay ganun. O pinabawasan mo, pabawas ang effect niya. The other way of writing the derivative is y prime is equal to 0. Y prime is the other way, the shorter way of expressing derivative of y in terms of x. Okay, the derivative of a function. Now, ano po yung second rule? The second rule now is the derivative of a power. Okay? Paano ba kuhanin ang derivative ng function raised to a given power? So let's have an illustration. So y is equal to x raised to n, or basically you can say that this is function of x is equal to x raised to n. So paano po kinukuha ang derivative ng function na raised to a given power? So the derivative of y in terms of x, that is equal to n x raised to n minus 1. Or basically, following the y prime way, yung y prime as the way of expressing the derivative, that is y prime is equal to nx raised to n minus 1. If you will try to check the pattern in this particular formula of derivative of a power, binabalang natin yung exponent and then the function itself raised to the exponent minus 1. So para mas maintindihan natin, magkaroon tayo ng example. So find the derivative of x raised to 10. So in this case po, ang gagawin po natin dito, paano ba kuhanin ang derivative niyan? So the derivative of y in terms of x, applying this one. Ito po. That is equal to 10x raised to 10 minus 1. So binaba natin yung exponent, ayan, binaba lang natin yung exponent, and then raised to 10 minus 1. Sinundan lang natin itong pattern na ito. So ang resulta, the derivative of y is equal to x raised to 10, that is now equal to 10x raised to 9. So, yan po yung magiging derivative ng function natin. Just follow this pattern, okay? Ngayon po, tandaan po natin yung derivative of a constant tsaka derivative of a power kasi sa mga ibang derivative formulas, gagamitin din natin itong constant tsaka derivative of a power. Ganyan po tayo magde-derive ng function. Lalo na po itong derivative of a power. Ayan. So that is the derivative of a constant and the derivative of a power. Let's do have now the third formula. That is the derivative of a sum or difference. So supposed to be I have here a function y is equal to f of x, y is equal to u plus v. Yan po yung function natin. So gamitin natin yung sum kasi mapa-sum or difference, same lang din naman ang gagamitin nating pattern. So in this case, the derivative of y in terms of x, that is equal to the derivative of u in terms of x plus the derivative of v in terms of x. Or y prime is equal to the derivative of u in terms of x plus the derivative of v in terms of x. So napansin po ninyo, yung derivative ng dalawang function na ina-add or sinusubtract is basically to get its derivative, you just basically get the derivative of the first function and get plus or minus, kung minus ang gamit mo, the derivative of the second function. So on and so forth, kung ilan mang terms ang ina-add or sinusubtract mo. So let's try to have an example para magkaroon tayo ng mas malinaw na idea paano ba mag-derive ng function using the sum and difference pattern. Ayan. So find the derivative of y is equal to 5x squared minus 4x cubed minus 9x raised to the 7th power. So ayan. So paano ba natin ito i-derive? So step by step natin. Una, derivative of y in terms of x. So unahin nating i-derive ito following the pattern. So kung tapansinin po ninyo, may involved na exponent dito. Ayan, 5x squared. So gagamit tayo nung ginawa natin kanina na derivative of a power. So applying that here, we have, so binaba natin yung 2, ayan, tinabi natin kay 5, x raised to 2 minus 1. Derivative nitong x squared, ayan. Kasi may, derivative of a power yan, tandaan niyo yung kanina. So yung 2 binaba natin dito, tinabi natin kay 5, then x raised to 2 minus 1. Okay? Dinerive natin itong x squared gamit yung power derivative of a power. Di ba natatandaan nyo kanina, bababa mo yung exponent, then the function itself raised to the exponent minus 1. So, tinabilang natin kay 5 kasi may number dito. Oh. Okay, next. Ito namang isa ang i-derive natin. Oh, negative 4x cubed. Ayan. So, involved na naman si derivative of a power. So, pag dinerive natin yan, minus 3, binaba ko si 3, power formula, derivative of a power, times 4, x raised to 3 minus 1. Yung exponent, binaba natin, times the given function, raised to the exponent minus 1. So, tinabi natin kay 4 kasi merong number beside x raised to 3. Okay? Sundin lang yung pattern. Dito next naman, minus 9x to the 7th power. Again, x raised to the 7th power. Ayan. So, application ulit ng derivative of a power. So, paano po natin yun aatakihin? So, in this case, baba natin yung 7 times 9, x raised to 7 minus 1. Okay? So, binaba natin yung 7. That's the effect nung ating power derivative of a power times 9, x raised to 7 minus 1. So, baba yung exponent, multiply to the given function, raised to the exponent minus 1. Ayan. So, yan po yung derivative ng bawat function. Ngayon, simplifying this 3 particular terms further, ito po yun. 2 times 5, that's 10. Raised to x, 2 minus 1, that's x. So, 10x po yun. Ang simplified form po nito ay 10x. Minus 3 times 4, that's 12. X, 3 minus 1, that's 2. Okay? And then, minus 7 times 9, that is 63. X raised to 6. So, that is the derivative. That is how we illustrate the derivative of a sum or difference. Okay, so let's do have the fourth formula. That is the derivative of a product. So, medyo complex na itong number 4. So, supposed to be I have two functions. I have a function y is equal to uv. So, ito yung first function, ito yung second function. Second term na i-multiply. First term, second term. So, y equals uv. So, paano po ito diniderive? Oo, paano po mag-derive ng product? Nag-multiply ng dalawang function. So, in this case, the derivative of y in terms of x, that is equal to u, the first term, the first function, multiplied to the derivative of v in terms of x. So, ulitin ko. The first function multiplied to the derivative of v, u multiplied to the derivative of v in terms of x. Okay? Yung unang function multiply sa derivative ng second function. O, mas paikli natin para mas maintindihan natin. Plus v derivative of u in terms of x. So basically, yung second multiplied sa derivative ng first. So pagka medyo ginawa natin, shinorten natin yung definition, paano i-derive ang product ng two functions. Just basically the first multiplied to the derivative of the second plus the second multiplied to the derivative of the first. So ganun lang ginawa natin sa number 4. So let's have an example para mas ma-picture out natin paano ito ginagamit. So I have an example. Find the derivative of y is equal to x, quantity x squared plus 5, quantity x cubed minus 7. So, paano ba yan ginagawa? So, i-label muna natin para mas maintindihan natin, ano? I-label muna natin siya. So, I have here, ito po yung u. Ayan, ito yung u. Ayusin lang natin. So, ito yung u. Ito yung u. Ayusin lang natin. Wait lang, iayos natin para mas maintindihan natin. So, ito yung u natin. Ito yung v. Ayan. Label natin para mas makuha nyo. So, ito yung u, ito yung v. So, applying this one, derivative of y in terms of x, that is equal to the first function multiplied to the derivative of the second, plus v, derivative of u in terms of x. So, following this pattern, so yung u natin dito ay si x squared plus 5. Lagay mo dito. And then multiplied sa derivative ng ating second function. So, x cubed minus 7. So, dalawang derivative ang formula ang gagamitin natin. Una, kung natatandaan po ninyo, power, derivative of a power. Actually, tatlo. Derivative of a power, derivative ng sum or difference, and then derivative of a constant. Pag pinagsama-sama nyo po yan dito, ayan po ang derivative niyan. 3, baba mo yung 3, kasi nga power, multiply to the function x, and then raised to 3 minus 1, kaya naging 2 na lang to. Okay? Binaba natin yung 3 times x, and then 3 minus 1, kaya siya naging 2. Ito po nangyari dyan. Ito yung nangyari dyan, no? 3 multiplied to x, raised to 3 minus 1, minus 1. So, 3 times x raised to 3 minus 1. So, yan po yung derivative of a power. Yan yung ginamit natin dito. Okay? So, bakit nawala po yung 7? Tatandaan po ninyo na derivative of a constant is 0. Kaya 3 quantity x squared na lang ang natira dyan. Okay? Next natin gagawin, ito namang isa. So, plus v. Ang v natin dito, x cubed minus 7. So, ayan. And then, the derivative of the first function. Ayan. So, yung first derivative of u in terms of x. So, yung u natin dito ay x squared plus 5. Correct? So, tatlong derivative formulas agad ang papasok dyan. Una is derivative of a power, derivative ng sum and difference, saka derivative of a constant. Pag kinuha mo ang derivative niyan, ito po ang sagot dyan. So, 2x, yung x squared, baba mo yung 2, and then x raised to 2 minus 1. Paano po nangyari ito? Again, if we will try to illustrate, baba mo yung 2, ayan, ito yon, and then x raised to 2 minus 1. Yan yung nangyari dito. Kaya naging 2 times x na lang siya. Yan yung nangyari dyan. Okay? So, plus 5. Derivative ng 5. It's a constant. We all know that the first derivative formula na inaral natin is derivative of a constant. Now, we all know that the derivative of any constant is always 0. Kaya 2 quantity x na lang nandyan. Simplifying this further, you have quantity x squared plus 5 multiplied to 3x squared. Kasi pag pinag-multiply mo yan, 3x squared yan, anak. Okay? Mga anak, 3x squared yan. Plus, quantity x cubed minus 7 multiplying 2 and x, that's 2x. Siyempre, hindi pa nakasimplify yan. So, multiply natin para mawala yung ating mga grouping symbols. Okay? So, in this case, we have now, ayan, 3x squared multiply kay x squared, that's 3x to the 4th power. 3x squared multiplied to 5, that is 15x squared. And then, 2x multiplied kay x cubed, that's 2x to the 4th power. And then, 2x times negative 7, that's negative 14x. Now, if you will try to check po itong apat na terms na ito, meron po tayong like terms na 2x to the 4th power and then 3x to the 4th power. So, pag pinag-add mo yan, dahil like terms yan, ang final answer natin, the derivative of y in terms of x, is equal to 5x to the 4th power plus 15x squared minus 14x. Okay, minus 14x yan. Okay? So, that is our final answer, or that is how we illustrate the derivative of a product. Okay, let's do have now the last part, that is the derivative of a quotient. So, since binanggit yung quotient, magde-divide tayo ng dalawang function. So, to illustrate that, I have here y is equal to u over v, or pwede mong sabihin function of x equals to u over v. So, how do we derive this one? So, ang formula po na susundin ho natin is derivative of y in terms of x. Medyo mahaba, no? That is v multiplied to the derivative of u in terms of x minus u derivative of v in terms of x all over v squared. Ayan. So, ganyan po natin siya i-derive. Ganyan po yung susundin nating pattern. So, para mas maintindihan, maunawaan natin paano siya gamitin, let's do have an example. O kagaya na binanggit ko kanina, gagamitin din natin yung mga iba't iba pang derivative formula sa mga succeeding derivative formulas. O pwedeng dito rin natin siya gamitin. Kagaya nung nangyari kanina sa number 4, ginamit natin yung derivative of a sum, yung product, yung derivative of a sum, yung power, tsaka yung constant. So, possible yun. So, proceed tayo sa ating example for the derivative of a quotient. So, find the derivative of y is equal to 1 minus x squared over 1 plus x squared. So, following this pattern, ayan, derivative of y in terms of x, that is equal to the v, equal to v multiplied to the derivative of u in terms of x minus u derivative of v in terms of x all over v squared. So, isa-isahin natin itong bawat parts ng formula. Okay? So, I have here derivative of y in terms of x, kasi yan ang hinahanap natin. So, fraction. Yan, fraction bar tayo. So, sabi sa formula, v. In this case, nalimutan nating i-label. Label muna natin. Sa kasong ito po yung u natin. Ito po yung v. Okay? Yung u yung nasa taas, yung u yung nasa taas, yung v yung nasa baba. So, getting your v here, sabi dito v. So, lalagay natin dito 1 plus x squared. Now, multiplied to the derivative of the first. Yung derivative ng first natin, yan po ay negative 2x. Paano po nangyari yon? So, 1 minus x squared, constant, minus a function raised to a given power. So, tatlong derivative formula agad ang magagamit natin. So, derivative ng constant, alam natin 0 yon. Kaya nawala siya dito. Minus, o gagamit tayo ng derivative, dalawang function na mina-minus. So, derivative of a difference. X squared, o papasok kayo dito si derivative of a power. So, baba mo yung 2, baba mo yung 2, and then, x raised to 2 minus 1. Okay? Kaya po ito naging negative because of this. Ayan. Minus, derivative ng constant, 0. So, wala yon. Minus, derivative ng x squared. Yung derivative ng x squared, yun po ay resulta nito. So, that's 2x. So, negative 2x siya. Ayan. Okay? So, continue natin. So, minus, so ang u natin dito, 1 minus x squared. So, lagay natin dito, multiplied sa derivative ng v in terms of x, derivative nung nasa baba. So, 1 plus x squared. So, sum ng dalawang function. So, papasok agad sa derivative of a sum. So, kukunin natin ang derivative nung first, which is a constant, derivative nung x squared, which is application ng derivative of a power. So, in this case, we have now, ang derivative po niyan ay 2x. Ngayon, paano po nangyari yon? Ang derivative ng constant natin na 1 ay 0. Kaya nawala po siya dyan. Plus, so positive. Ang x squared natin, ang derivative niyan ay 2x. Paano po nangyari yon? So, let's try to illustrate. So, I have here, baba mo yung 2, x raised to 2 minus 1. So, nangyari po dito, binaba natin yung 2, x raised to 2 minus 1. Kaya po naging 2x yung nilagay natin dito as the derivative of 1 plus x squared. Yan po yung nangyari dyan. Okay? Now, next. And then, all over, sabi sa formula, square nung ating second. So, ang square nung v natin, I should say. So, yung v natin dito ay 1 plus x squared. So, gagawin mo lang dyan, 1 plus x squared quantity raised to the second power. Ayan, simplifying this further, ito po siya. Negative 2x times 1, that's negative 2x. Okay? Okay? And then, negative 2x times x squared, negative times positive, that's negative. And then, 2 times 1, that's 2. X times x squared, that's x cubed. Okay, ito po yung naging simplified form yan. Next one, minus 2x times 1, that's 2x. Oh, may minus dyan, kaya na naging negative 2x. 2x times negative x squared, that is 2 times 1, dito that's 2. X times x squared, that's x cubed. Negative times negative, that's positive. So, yan po yung simplified form yan. Simplifying this further, kung papansinin po ninyo, like terms po si negative 2x cubed and then positive 2x cubed. So, yan po ay, pagka sinimplify mo yan, 0 na. Pumawala na yan. So, tatanggalin natin si negative 2x cubed. Yan, kasi 0 na yan. Ayan. So, ang resulta po niyan, that's negative 4x. The derivative of y in terms of x now is equal to negative 4x. Negative 2x plus negative 2x, that's negative 4x. All over the square of 1 plus x squared. So, that is how we illustrate the derivative of a quotient. Naway marami kayong naunawaan at naintindihan sa maikling oras na tayo yung nag-usap about the differentiation formulas. I am Mr. Jonathan Piroman, a mathematics A teacher from Ilaya Barangka Integrated School. Good day, everyone.